Greetings and welcome to whatever this is. I am Neomu and this is a tablecloth. I just did another video and I was like, what should I talk about? I should really have something on the screen. Maybe I should do some more things. I mean, I have this tablet. It's pretty good. Like, the 4K resolution just makes everything so sharp. With the right lighting conditions. But, boy, this, oh goodness. I just saw a UPS truck just go by. It's going pretty fast, too. On the speed bump, it's not supposed to, whatever. Anyways, hello there. We're going to talk about the Nest Pi. Because I put it together like a few weeks ago. Was it a few weeks ago? And that was a while ago. And, man. It's just... man. Anyways. Okay, so what can you use the Nest Pi 4 case? Is what I'm going to call it. Nest Pi for Raspberry Pi 4. You can use it with the Raspberry Pi 1, 2, 4, and 8 gig variants. Or the 16 if it ever happens. Because I've heard one of the developers of that is that the CPU can support 16. It's just, what in the world are we going to use 16 gigabytes for on a Pi? Servers. So say you're at college and you want to make like a little file server or something server. I don't know. You're like, okay. Like you're working with projects and you like need to quickly do something real fast. You can set up your own little server. I don't know. That'd be cool though. Right. Focus. Focus. So the Nest Pi, guys, you can use it with practically everything. In a way, I think. Anything that's at least Debian, it seems. I don't know, it seems like, or Raspberry Pi OS themed. So you have Raspberry Pi OS. I'm sure it'll work on 64-bit as well. I'm 100% sure. Not really done much with that. What else is there? Let me do something with my hands. Well, that was odd. Anyways, hello there. Okay, so what are we looking for? Oh, right. So, Raspberry Pi OS, you just download the script. It would be normally for RetroPie or anything like that. And you put it on and it works, which is really good. Except I try to use, it would be Ubuntu, and it just didn't work out how I wanted it to work. Like Ubuntu, the new Ubuntu 2010 or 20.10, because it's the October release. Usually it seems like they have a April and October release of Ubuntu. Sometimes for the Raspberry Pi, sometimes it functions, sometimes it doesn't function at all, and sometimes it doesn't work. Things I'm trying to get it to run with. Like there was a script in Chromium that before they added Chromium to Raspberry Pi OS, you had to download it separately, And it came with this little script which would work as a little OMX player thing. And you just press it and it would detect the YouTube video and it would play it at full speed. Like on the Raspberry Pi 3 and 2 and stuff. That was really, really cool. And then they kind of broke that with the actual release, and it was a little upsetting. I don't know if you can do that now, but that should have been a thing that could still be used. Maybe it could be using the VLC. I mean, sure, you can just, what I've learned is that you can drag and drop and put it in there. Fine. Anyways, now for airflow. It runs at about 60 overclocked to 2 gigahertz and 100 megahertz for the GPU. It ran pretty fine. It wasn't overheating that I noticed. Getting stuff to work a little iffy at first, but then I was like, oh, okay, I gotta put the USB corks in there. That is a little file, and just like, okay, here's the corks. And sorry, I got distracted by a car that was painted. I would love to show you it, but I have this rule of not showing my neighborhood because I could accidentally dox myself, and I don't want to do that. Yeah, that would be bad. Anyways, where are we? You can put it in. So say you have Raspbian. Sorry, I love to call it Raspbian because that's what it was called for so long. Raspberry Pi OS. And, man. It's pretty cool. Just put it in, it'll reset, so it'll automatically reset once you put it in and it's done its things. It will automatically reset after a few seconds, so if you're updating something or a process is happening or you're building something in the background, make sure you're done with that first before putting in the script, because it will reset. And it's not like, do you want to reset now? Want to reset later? Nope. You got 3 seconds. You better be quick. And then after it's resetted, you can press the reset button. So say something's wrong, it does like a safe reset. If you want to just power it down, it'll do a safe shutdown, which is really cool. It's kind of like, okay, it's an NES, but it's got like, it's a computer. It's like it's a hidden computer. Like if you see this thing from a distance, people would think, okay, that's an NES. You know, put some chords in there, black chords, because the NES had black chords. One I can remember at least. Yeah, black chords, right? And then yeah, put them in. Should be fine. Right. Continue talking. Alright, I really should just have, like, the thing right in front of me. I don't know. There is the Cinnamon light gun. I kind of want to get that to complete the aesthetic a little bit. Sure, it doesn't look exactly like the NES Zapper at all. It just looks like a Magnum. It looks like the pistol from Fallout. Like one of those things. And I don't know, it's pretty big. But it's probably because it has things on the control things in the back. I should do this so I can accentuate that I'm making motions. So that is cool. So yeah, it's just been weird. Like I want to do stuff, And I never felt like I had the time because I do other stuff. I just like chill out or something. Like I need to know how to voiceovers would say my I don't know anymore. Anyways, I made a spot in my room to have like this large table so I could record at and do stuff. But of course, my fish tank is literally next to it. As much as I guess I just try to figure out a way to cancel out the noise. I guess I don't know. Right. And it's time. So, I like playing with the cartridge SSD slot thing. It is fun. Just like pop it out, pull it out. It does recommend to take off the thing on the bottom to turn it upside down so that way you can have better leverage. I just use the friction at my hands and it comes out just fine. Or I could put my nails and pull it out. It's the same. What I heard, it's bigger than the original. And then this thing's kind of tiny, so how small was the original? I don't know. I would love a full-size NES case. That would be cool. I don't know how they don't get in trouble because the Sega Genesis one looks like a Sega Genesis. I'll go grab it real quick. Hold up. Shazam, I'm back. Anyways, okay, here's the Sega Genesis Mega Pi. This was the first one I got. I also got the controllers as well, but I didn't bring that into the kitchen. So you have your reset button, your on-off button, and then you got this audio jack, which would have been cool. This was like a variable audio jack. The audio jack's actually in the back. Would have been cool. Would have been cool. They like figure out a way to reroute the power. But let's do this. I have a spot for SD cards. Done. Over here would be a slot for an SD card. And then there'd be a slot over here for your extra stuff. So say 2 more HDMI, USB and Ethernet over on the side. But yeah, I just kind of had this laying around and then I figured out what to do, but just have it around. It was a really cool idea. It's like, I want a Sega Genesis like thing. So I had a Sega Genesis as a kid. There's one that has like a little cartridge slot on top. Same with the Super Nintendo one, and that did upset me a little that I didn't get those ones. I should have got those ones because that would have looked cooler. But this is fine. It does look like there should be like a CD here. It's kind of weird. But has the power light. Got your controllers. Yeah, there's controller 1 and controller 2. This is really cool. Like they made some really cool looking cases, and I find out why they're really popular. They're just really cool to look at. Even if you don't use this for, say, retro gaming, you can use this for like an operating system, or say just the bare minimum, and then you download like a thing for server stuff. And then you need like a button to turn it on and off. So say on, and then it'll start turning on. or if you need to like reboot it, like you did something and needs to reboot, just push that and it'll start rebooting. And then you can turn it off if you need to turn it off for a bit. Maybe you need maintenance. I don't know. Could be a cool server. Maybe that could be a Raspberry Pi 4 version. Ooh. Like, okay, Sega's biggest, coolest thing is this thing. Because, well, it's just, this is probably the best part of Sega's career. This and the Dreamcast, apparently, for some people. But the biggest was this. The most popular thing was this. And then the 32-bit add-on, and then the Sega CD. Which, okay, so I think the Sega Genesis had this thing on this. It had a thing on the side where you can attach something, like there was a cable or a port. Like, I guess that was original. I wonder, though. Then there was Sega Channel. I heard that existed. We almost got it, and we didn't. And then it was kind of cool. It just kind of just is spring loaded. I had this one at 720p because it'll upload faster. I don't need it to do 1080, but I don't know. So, yes, you can use that. You can also use it with TwistOS. So okay, so the Nest Pi 4 case. Back to that. So, TwistOS is just Raspberry Pi OS with modifications, with heavy modifications. That's kind of the thing with it. You got Box 86 you got like wine on there. It's like it's taking all the cool things that people have adapted to the Raspberry Pi 4, and because it's had like a year to cook in terms of support, because it was pretty much a whole year practically nothing for it other than the operating system itself. Here's the rule of thumb. When a new Pi comes out, no matter how minor of an upgrade it is, it takes a while for anything to work for it. It seems that even with the 8-gig Pi, it had a bit of issues with things. Some things, not all things. You would think that, okay, CPU's the same, everything. RAM doesn't matter, right? It actually kind of does. Programming for the RAM is a little different. How's RAM? I don't know. That's what I've heard. Okay, they switched over. Say they switch over to a new RAM vendor, and then they have to worry about stuff breaking. I don't know. At least that's what I've heard. I'm not 100% sure on that. Anyways, yeah, I got it to work with. You can get it to work with RetroPie, Sarah, and Recalbox. And basically, Sarah is like a different version of Recalbox, it seems. Because at one point it was like Recalbox.remix something originally. And yeah, it's kind of like a few different ideas of alright. Okay, so Recalbox, everything's kind of done for you. Has a few extra features where you do some extra things, and stuff set up a little bit for you. But you have less control. You don't have as much control as you once thought. And then Sarah has a little bit more that you can do, but you can download some extra things, content things, and updates every so often. And, yeah. Pretty interesting. And then you got like RetroPie, which is the big boy, which download stuff you can download whatever stuff you want for it. Really, there's like a large repository of things. But yeah, and on and off. There we go. You can have your applications be on the thing. Like say if you wanted to have it as a data storage thing, like a cloud. You just pop the hard drive in, and then have the SD card be the actual thing. There you go. And I don't think that the cartridges cost too much because it's literally just 2 pieces of plastic with a sticker, and that's basically it. So it shouldn't cost too much. And then you can get like, I don't know, some SSDs, and you can just make them as cartridges. So like this one's for RetroPie, maybe this one's for a server project, maybe this one's for a different project entirely, maybe this one's your media center. I don't know. It's however people wish to use a Raspberry Pi. Raspberry Pi has grown in popularity for a reason. Its versatility. And because people love to emulate things on it. Yeah. You even got like full desktops, like ish things. Like you can technically use it as a full-on desktop and do things on it. You can, use it to, I don't know, do homework. Like I had like a little, almost 720p ish monitor, and I just did my homework on it. I would do my homework on it. So, like my Raspberry Pi 3, I just booted it up. There it is. My homework. It has like a little LibreOffice. It's fine. I'm sure it's a little strange, but I got used to it. I figured out more about it. It's like, yeah, here, all right. I had to go like find a spell check, just in case. So I would pop in my document. Like, here's my outline. Place things into it, and then have another thing on the side. So say, okay, I'm typing in my outline for my essay, but at the same time, I'm also plopping in things on the other side and going in and changing things as needed. And that was really cool. Now, why did I do it on Pi instead of my actual computer? Distraction. Here's the thing. I get distracted. So I had to not do that. I like the Pi 30 quite a bit, but yeah, that's like what I was using. Just get stuff done. So done. And then I found out that I could use it to play videos too. So I would have a video on the top right while I was doing stuff because my focus is more toward. I look towards more the left for some reason. Maybe it's just a natural thing that I do. Maybe that's just kind of how I've always been looking. Anyways, yeah. And then I would watch something and then just take care of my homework. I like the Pi. At all its iterations. It's a fun time. i4 blows out of the water, especially with things like the Argon 40. or the Argon 1. Argon, there's a new Argon case that has a thing for M.2, which that's kind of cool. I like that, but yeah, it's just really cool. It's just so amazing. Anyways, I've been talking too long and I gotta get a couple things done. But yeah, I haven't tested it with Manjaro. Manjaro kind of runs pretty okay. It's just the scripts that I try to use just didn't seem to function. I'm kind of curious. I'll look up that later because Manjaro being Arch Linux based, good work. I've tried Gen 2 on a Raspberry Pi 4. I have no clue what I was looking at. It's like one of the first or so 64-bit operating systems. I don't know much about Gen 2. At all. Then it seems to be Arch. Arch, I have no clue what to do. But with the Ubuntu and Debian, I kind of understand what I'm doing. Alright, I should probably go when my dad gets home. Alright. I'm gonna make another video in the middle of the morning. I'm here at like 3 in the morning. Or later and just do a video. I don't know. I had to reset my computer because I installed Linux wrong. Because it was trying to do something and then it didn't quite work. It was very odd. Anyways, I gotta go. I'll give you 24 seconds. So, what do I do next? I don't know. But I gotta go put this thing back in the living room. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.